Hi, I'm Daisy,
Hi, I'm David.
and we're the MSA Crusaders.
Welcome to another episode of MSA Crusaders, proud supporters of Mission MSA. Today we're going to talk about when is it time to go to the doctor and being monitored at home for health care.
Absolutely. So, when is the right time to go to the hospital? Because we both have remote monitoring of our conditions at home, correct?
Correct.
So, I'm actually pretty new to it. I have a BiPAP machine I use at nighttime, which has all those alarms and stuff, which is monitored remotely. And
I'll
I
go
also,
with you.
yeah. And I also have because of my past couple episodes of pneumonia. The last couple of months, I have another company monitoring my daily blood pressure, oxygen, and heart rate. So, um, I just got into monitoring where somebody calls me and says, what are you doing? Your heart rate is 140 or 160." And I'm
You
like,
know, I freaked out the other day. I've been
yeah,
having this fix since my head, and I took my blood pressure, and then it was like 93 over 50, and my heart rate was like 114. And I had to phone call said, "You okay today? Your blood pressure was a little low yesterday, and it was high." And I was like, "What?"
really. Yeah, they call you. They're pretty. It's weird. They call me because my heart rate's 120, and 120 is okay.
Wow.
Right? They called me and said, you need to slow down and calm down, stop doing what you're doing. I said, I'm just unloading the back of my SUV, right? I'm not doing anything crazy. Right? I would understand if my heart rate was. So if you want to know what your maximum heart rate is, you take 220, subtract your age. So 220 minus, for me, minus 45 would be somewhere around 175, 185, something like that, right? So why are they calling me at 120, 119 beats per minute and saying, calm down, Dave. You need to be good.
Resting, it shouldn't be overhead.
Yeah, resting. Correct.
Mine was when I was resting.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got like 114, 118. I was resting.
Mine is over 100 at nighttime during sleep.
Yes, and it does it with us. It kind of helps it with your blood pressure.
Yeah. High. So do you have mostly lower blood pressure when you take it, or is it mostly high?
It's like
Right. So you mentioned earlier that you now have a new symptom slash condition,
sympathy.
syncope. And I forgot what that was. I remember Sarah speaking about that. Um,
It's like when you
syncope.
sit down and you stand up, you kind of see the stars in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Almost half of that.
Change.
Or you can't
Change.
check out.
Now, you get that when you stand up. Do you get that passing out sensations when you sit down also?
No.
So it's just standing up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I was at physical therapy the other day, they had me sit down in a wheelchair and stand up on parallel bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing they ever did to me in physical therapy was they told me to stand up, sit down with my eyes closed,
Well,
and I passed out every time.
I bet.
Yeah, you said the parallel bars. They literally had the machine hanging, the support hanging from the ceiling rope, whatever.
Uh,
They have a nice facility. Literally, they said stand up with your eyes closed and do this and do that with your eyes closed. I was passing out every time, blacking out. So
but they
yeah,
don't do the hospital or whatever you're going to call it.
yeah.
Wow.
So so what type of other monitoring do you have?
I just had the blood pressure machine. They had a Bluetooth to their phone.
So just a blood pressure machine.
Yeah.
So,
This is
so
it.
I'm going to be mean and ask a very difficult question for you. I know from what you told me of you having a lung issue, they're not monitoring your air pressure.
No.
Wow.
And another thing, I had a nurse from home health come and return on me about a month ago, and nobody's come to see me since then. No nurses. So I called them yesterday and I said, "Why are you sending me nurses?" So, well, this is how to take the catheter. I said, "No, you're not taking my catheter. I know you're on this for that."
Right.
And I
So
said, Nikki, well, I'll come see you on my first then. I said, "What are you doing?" Restart family. What the heck? You just heard about me.
so they they're supposed to send nursing out, and they don't.
Right.
See, that's even harder because you don't go to the hospital per se, right?
I've never been, but it was like,
Yeah, because you have at home care. I mean, I forget what it's called.
oh, yeah.
Home health, right? That's interesting because you would think they would send somebody regularly to at least make sure you're alive, check up on you,
I'm just
right?
monitoring my vitals, and they're supposed to, just check my site, and then they're for emergencies if I have cancer. But they're going to change my cancer. I said, no, you're not. I have PTSD for that.
Yeah.
So why do you have PTSD? Like, look at that. I said, this is my second surgery for superacute cancer. My first surgery. The first time she changed it, she blew the balloon upside my bladder still. Ouch.
Oh.
I said, yeah, ouch. I accepted it because of that.
Yeah, you don't want the wrong person touching your any part of the machinery or catheterization. Oh, that sounds painful.
And every time I go, I take a value.
I think yeah, like me, my shoulder surgery. Every time I go to physical therapy, I take too many pain meds. I understand that one completely.
I take a pill for myself.
Yeah, that's good. So, how do you know when you need more than basic help, like it's like life and death, or something severely wrong with your health that you have to get to the hospital? How does your body manifest itself? Because normally, right, we feel sick, we feel pain, we blow our nose and we see yellow, or cough up some blood. We go, okay, go to the hospital, right? But with MSA, it's quite a bit different. So, how do you know when you need to go farther than a home care nursing actually go to the ER hospital?
Well, I have the people at my blood pressure. I have to call them before I think I need to go, and they'll tell me. They have 24/7 nurses.
So you have to have permission before you go anywhere.
Yes,
So they will send a nurse first,
yes.
like
It's in a different facility than my home health.
do they send a nurse immediately, like right now, or do they have to
Yeah,
wait?
that's the nurse immediately.
That's so bad. Okay, but
And then this home health, or this health, my blood pressure monitoring comes from my caregivers, my attendants. I want to pay my mom to come to watch me.
okay.
They do that.
We just started that. It literally my wife and I just started the home health care where they pay her to take care of me, in Indiana, but they didn't say anything about. They said to let if I have to go to the hospital to let them know because either they pay the hospital or they pay my wife. So they for Medicare Medicaid.
It's really
So,
good to pay your life because it takes us, you can't just about pay it.
yeah, you told me about that. I mean, we interviewed quite a few people who are like their spouses, are not working anymore because they're taking care of them with MSA, and we had to wait about a year for the new political bill to pass the legislature, so that family members can actually get paid to take care of you. So she has an app on her phone. She literally just has to take a picture of me every day and put click a few questions, and that's it. Pretty simple.
Well, they pay, they don't pay her about hourly, they pay her like a certain amount each month. Uh, uh,
Yes.
they, is it like 400 a month?
The amount?
Yeah.
It's about that per week. It's more than that per week.
Really?
You said 400, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than that per week. And surprisingly, it's 7 days a week.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome.
so
You're
my wife,
right.
my wife being so tired of working and helping me get off the floor like just 10 minutes ago, you know, bath time and cooking and stuff. That money will help offset. They take a day or two off of work, and
Oh, yeah.
not wear her out. And they said we get 14 or 15 days of that care you talked about. Is it respite care? Respite?
Yes.
Where someone would come and take the place of your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said we have 14, 15 days a week. I was like, yes, 15 days without the wife. So,
I need a break.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's,
I
yeah,
love it more. I have it, but we don't have anybody to do it.
nobody,
Okay. I live
no,
with my mom and all of to take care of me.
right, the company, so your company offers the respite care, but they don't send anybody to fill in?
Exactly.
How can you have a policy of providing respite care, I think it's respite care, but not actually sending anyone to do the respite care?
Well, I guess they would, but my husband wants strangers in my house.
I'm pretty sure he wants a couple of days off.
Nope.
I heard him his head was the pots and pans a second ago. I mean that's an inside joke. These microphones is too sensitive sometimes, so everyone knows pots and
That's
pans
good.
will fall. Yeah,
He never close his Fridays.
really.
He needed, like one time he said,
Yep.
and put the hospital there.
I heard it in the background. You got a good microphone. When you hear like the type of metal in
That's
the back
so
in the
funny.
background.
Okay.
I said those are Rachel Ray pants. Emerald Lagasse pants.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
so
you
yeah,
been to the hospital a couple times. I've never been, it was like, how did you know?
the first time before we canceled the surgery for my shoulder, the first time I had so much pain. I felt nothing but pain. My hips were glued to the bed with pain. And I could not move because I could not rotate my hips at all. So the pain was so bad, we called an ambulance to go to the hospital. Turns out, a couple hours later, it's actually either common or walking pneumonia. So I had no fever, no nothing except pain in my hips that got so bad I couldn't even turn over in bed or try to move. Right, I was practically crying, and I went to the ER and they gave me antibiotics, but they gave me pain pills and they gave me like better than morphine, whatever the injections were for pain, and said, "Here, take these pills and go home." And it cleared up. And the second time, well, that was that was the pain for my hips. And I'm so sorry, the hip pain was the second time of my pneumonia after the surgery. The first time was pre-surgery. I was laying in a hospital bed waiting for surgery on my shoulder,
And
and
to be honest,
I had a temperature of 104.5, and I did not know. But the anesthesiologist, yeah, like you said, yeah, she saw me like four beads of sweat, and she just asked a question, and it turned into full blown pneumonia. Walking pneumonia again. The second one with my hips was actually aspiration pneumonia. So the moral of the story is both times that I got sick was major aspiration pneumonia and walking pneumonia. in back to back, um, at least for 3 times. The only way I knew something was wrong was pain in my body to where I couldn't walk or move. Like no cough, no temperature at home, no sniffling in the nose, absolutely nothing. No trouble breathing. So it's kind of a freak
I
accident.
take it back. I went to the hospital since I got diagnosed with everything. Before I got diagnosed, I was in urgent care. So, with pain so bad. They gave me shots of morphine.
Yeah.
Dilaudid. But I can't take Dilaudid anymore. My oxygen was at 64.
Really?
Yeah. And I went there for coat hanger pain.
Yeah, that's even today. I know I had shoulder surgery, but trying to explain coat hanger pain to someone that after you have a surgery or pneumonia,
Oh my gosh.
they don't get it. They don't understand what you're saying.
I can't
Co-
take
co-
coat
co-
hanger
co-
pain with shoulder surgery.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it's not the same. Like I can't explain to you the difference here. This is not related to that, and they don't get it. So
I'm getting really nervous. You
why is
know,
that?
the dentist yesterday. And it's 2 times I went to this when they hadn't done anything to for me. They see me home. And I had to put it on my as a different dentist. A dentist, by the way, I get a better name. But I went to dentist on my 8th, and they're going to uh, set me up to pull my mom's teeth out. And they're going to use IV sedation.
Really? Selection of what?
Just to knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm really nervous about that.
What's the long term goal for that one?
Dentist.
Yeah.
I don't have teeth anymore.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that's
I'm not going to talk as I have it either.
it makes talking more difficult for sure. I get that one.
Speaking of difficult talking, did you know my son had chin implant surgery?
uh, you say chin implant?
Yes,
Is there such a thing?
yes.
That's called the Jay Leno surgery.
You think of silicone when you hear that. They
Sure.
just do it. No, they cut a piece of his jaw, both sides, in the bone graft.
Yeah.
And he had 50 plus stitches, belts and brackets in it. I seen him the other night on video, FaceTime, and he does have a jawline now. He's very specific. I said, would you choose again if you had a choice? He said, right now? No. But it's to benefit his breathing. No, sorry.
Was his mouth wired shut?
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine so. I had a very similar surgery too. I had reconstructive surgery done because I had an open bite where my teeth didn't touch except for the back, so I couldn't chew. After my dad died in '99, I had that surgery done, and my mouth was wired shut for like 6 to 9 months. And they literally everything they did a little cosmetic surgery, which is why if you see me talking, this part of my lip doesn't really move because
Right.
it's nerve damage from the surgery. But I have like 28 titanium strips and all these screws throughout the body. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's
A
tough.
cast on a pallet, but they 50 plus stitches. Can you imagine? Bells and brackets.
Yeah, I can.
It's not for as much cosmetic surgery, but they have the breathing because he has sleep apnea. But it reminds me when his daughter was born, he said, Mama, she's got our nose chin.
No shit. The very first thing you do when you're babies is compare features, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Just shit.
chin.
Just jiggling on the chin. I don't have a chin either. I've been gaining some weight since I had my shoulder surgery. I'm like 15 pounds too heavy. So if you don't see a jawline for me, I've been eating a lot. It's boring at home when you have MSA and a bad shoulder and you can't move. It really sucks.
Oh man, it's a Kit Kat.
Right,
Kit
right, yeah, right? Well, it's amazing how you said it, right. It's amazing how I'm right-handed, but everything I do from texting to grabbing my phone to whatever, I still need my left hand to plug the power in, right? To hold it up and text two-handed. You still use part of your body
Kat.
for even right-handed things.
What's another thing? Are you gonna? You had something to do it again? He said, no, now no. You can't eat for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You only eat no seafood. So I can say it when it's chilly. I don't know seafood.
You gotta drain it through the teeth. Hey, you wonder why I love applesauce and cottage cheese so much? It's because I could fit that through my teeth, the back of my teeth when I had it wired shut. That was the only thing I could have, like actually go to the back of my teeth and actually eat. So I completely understand. For 6 to 9 months, I had it wired. I was nothing but applesauce and like cottage cheese, maybe even mashed potatoes and gravy.
He goes to the hospital 2 nights we have to stay. And his first nurse said, well, how's he going to take his baby off? And the second nurse came and she crushed him up and put him in a syringe for her.
Really, a syringe.
Yeah, like a baby, you put them
Yeah.
in.
You have to shoot the gaps. Yeah. I'm telling you, I completely understand that surgery, having your mouth wired shut for months and months and months. It is not fun. It's hard to breathe when your entire face is swollen from surgery.
The person said, dude, try. He has some serious surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pain. But he was a dentist the other day and he got his chin strap off so he could actually
Yeah.
his mouth a little bit, but he's still his lips look like those little bubble lips or rubber lips, these wax lips that you get at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
They're so big.
Oh no.
He usually don't have lips.
The one thing I'll say this, a little bit off topic, but the one thing I regret after having reconstructive jaw surgery, similar to what he had, mine was more invasive. It was the entire front, but you have to teach yourself to keep your mouth closed because those muscles have been reattached and moved. So when you watch me in some of my videos or in real life, you might see me like my mouth is hanging open because after that surgery, I didn't train my mouth to. I didn't knowingly force my mouth to close, so my muscles knew to go to close that far. So now when you see me a lot of times, I have my mouth is open and it looks like I'm hungry or something. I'm like, so
His
that's my only regret.
chin strap.
Yeah, yeah. See, they didn't say that for me. This is back in 1999. So that's probably what that was for, is for the muscles to make sure you keep your mouth closed so you don't have your mouth is not hanging open like a cartoon.
I'll have to get one of those for when I get dentures. Because can you imagine dry mouths we have with your dentures?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I couldn't. That'd be interesting.
That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
That's gonna hurt too.
I want to get chin strap too.
I'm sure your husband would be happy.
Well,
Where's the laugh button?
I train myself though. So, because I hope I keep my mouth open. I'm sleeping. I train myself to breathe through my nose, even though my mouth's open.
Yeah.
Because I
Do you?
you're on oxygen at night too, aren't you?
I was what?
Are you on oxygen at night?
No, I have a hookup for it, and that's the next thing that they're going to recommend. So my issue is not the breathing in, it's the breathing out. And they realized that it's amazing how going into the hospital, not knowing you have aspiration pneumonia, they found out with all the tests they did. So they had the BiPAP machine or the oxygen machines going, and they're actually monitoring my carbon dioxide, I think it is, at the same time through the arteries. And I inhaled 90 plus oxygen and only exhaled 32%. So when I took the blood test during pneumonia, all that gas was escaping in my blood, and that's bad for you. It makes you even more sick. So um, I don't have the problem with the oxygen supply. My problem is the exhaling, which is a big issue.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I can take deep breaths, but it's the exhale. But since they have me on the machine, I definitely feel a lot better. I mean, you can see the little thing on my nose. So I had too small of a mask, and it was cutting into my skin. But now I have a bigger one, which is much better. So I've learned to sleep with it all night long, and I do feel rested. Um, you know, that doctor literally when you go from a normal of 12 respirations down to 4, that's when you die with MSA. That's why so many of us die at nighttime, because you can have a sort of sleep apnea or sleeping disorder only at nighttime and not during the daytime. I don't have that issue during the daytime. Really, it's only at nighttime. So that's why so many of us die at nighttime peacefully. Is our brain goes to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is damaged. Therefore, it does not let you breathe correctly. So I'm really happy that this pulmonologist, different from IU Health, but the pulmonologist up here was able to see that right away and get me going in the right direction.
You just reminded me, there's a post, we've been talking about a couple posts on Facebook about when during the day you gasp for air,
Yeah,
and at night you wake up gasping for air. It's really to me feel like you're swimming. You're trying to get to the edge of the pool, and
yeah,
you get to
yeah.
it. Or like you're underwater, you can try to come to the top, get to the top and gasp for air. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, I never noticed it at nighttime because obviously I'm sleeping and I take medication that sedates me a lot. But I noticed it during the daytime because, like me walking upstairs, like 18 stairs, I think, I'd be out of air. Or me saying hi, my name is David Knox, I would be out of air.
Yeah.
Right? Like I knew that's how I knew something was wrong in the end, but in the beginning I had no idea. Besides, I'm always out of breath no matter what I do. Getting out of the car, out of breath. Getting into the car, out of breath.
Yeah,
So
it's sad. That's when you're progressing.
that's how you know, right? You have to pay attention to your body, and that's why, right? That's why the question we asked today was, how do you know when it's time to go to the ER, the hospital, or call for a nurse, call for a doctor, whatever? Because when you get sick, one of the last things you think of is pain. I mean, when you get sick, you think of maybe a runny nose, a stuffed up nose, a sore throat, maybe trouble breathing, right? Congestion in your lungs, sweating, a fever, chills, sweats. Pain is usually the last thing that happens, right?
Right.
So for me specifically, I pass all of those. I sense none of those except for pain. The pain is the only way I know I'm sick, and by the time I sense the pain, I'm already at the end stage of about to die in the hospital.
I am taking those antibiotics every day for my UTI.
Yeah. And that's not good too, by the way, taking them every day.
Well, she said that I've been for 90 days.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put me on something else's prevention.
Good. Yeah. Long-term use of antibiotics is not good. Oh, okay. Like steroid packs. And they like a Z pack?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they call them up here anyway. See, like the Z pack.
This is an X fix.
Okay.
I go back on the next Saturday, and they will text me again to see if I still have it or not.
Yeah.
Look, so they have urinary tract infection because they've been fever or
Yeah.
they have burning and they hurt.
Right.
I don't. I know it's because I see horses in elevators.
you see horses and elevators.
Elevator.
That's not good. You probably have a very high pitch of fever, Daisy. You
I
start,
don't know fever.
you started seeing things.
But that's how I know I have a urinary tract. I start seeing some crazy.
Well, hey, when I was in the hospital with my last pneumonia, I told everyone they bought me a stuffed cat because I kept seeing a cat walking around the hospital. I was losing my mind. I saw Daisy. I swear to you, a cat was free walking, free ranging the hospital, and I kept like, did you see it? Did you see it? Like, no, there can't be a cat in the hospital, right? So yeah, I kind of see the fever. That type of fever will make you definitely think of the things that are not true.
Either be hilarious.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
I don't have a fever, but I just don't. I'm not right my hand. I feel kind of foggy. Or I drink less. And I said, I see horses in the elevator. Elevator in my living room.
Really,
My nurse said, when she seen me acting out that she knew that I had it. PTSD.
really. So just by that,
Yeah.
it's pretty smart. Yeah, I've never had I've had pain down there, but I've never actually had a UTI. I don't think in my life. So I have every other problem with the bladder, but not the UTI problem. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. You
It's
know.
good too.
Well, I've had the burning sensation after surgery. You know, they have a catheter to take out and it burns, but not because of MSA though. Was it medicine time with Daisy?
It's good too.
Hey, I'm supposed to do the same thing too. So I still refuse to take in my liquids and take medicine. I'd rather choke still.
You don't get me what episodes yet.
No, they, we tried it in the hospital. They gave me the can, so I'm not. I'd rather choke to death. So
It isn't hard to take pills.
it is, but the Botox, the throat dilation, and the stem cells has helped it. So I'm not gonna say it's perfect. Like I just literally almost choked to death in my lungs. I had a chocolate frosted flake going down my lung about an hour ago in front of my wife. But it's gotten much better with the help of those three items. So
You know what's up? Oh, it was but
it does on YouTube.
when capsules touch the top of your mouth,
They stay yeah, they stay right there and they don't go anywhere, right?
you drive out.
You get a capsule that's either the back of the roof of your mouth and the very back of your throat. It does not want to go anywhere.
That hurt.
Yeah, right. I know that if I turn my head left all the way, it usually knocks it down for me because my left vocal cord is paralyzed. So if I move that left vocal cord, it actually pushes the pill down the right way.
I had to use my tongue.
Really, your tongue.
It's not going top the top of my mouth.
Oh, your actual roof. Okay. Yeah, the pills go every direction except the right way with MSA.
Right.
Yeah, seriously. I'll take 3 pills and they'll go separate directions every time. Little ones. One will go to the cheek, one will go to the top, and one I'll swallow one.
I think I'm stuck in my throat sometimes, but it helps. And it's still hot.
Yeah,
So hit me up.
yeah. As long as you're making a sound, you're alive.
Wait, I take a prune to help push it down.
A prune? Oh, God, I hate prunes. Those are the worst.
Cherry essence.
Sure what?
Cherry essence prunes. They're so good. Yeah, do you like cherries?
I do. Well, certain type of mustachio, yeah.
You like a cherry essence prune.
I'll try. I'll try one. We have to be regular too.
What if it's that I started getting a prune? I chew it just a little bit and I swallow it to put it peel down.
Yeah.
I hate when you get your pain pill stuck in your throat, you get that medicine taken down.
You get the burning sensation in your lungs. Have you ever had the sensation of the burning in your lungs that the pill has gone into your lungs?
Yes, well, it's
Like you swallow a piece of lead or something. It's unbelievable how you don't know what that feels like until it happens to you. You know?
Sensation is awful.
Yeah, if it's a capsule, it's okay it doesn't burn. But if it's like a sulfurate, like if it's a pill that's not a tablet, that's not a capsule, yeah, like a chalky, you'll feel it right away. Yeah.
Pretzels aren't funny. The thing the disintegrate, the gems,
Uh-huh.
and then the powder that's inside of it goes into your lung.
Not supposed to. Yeah, you get some major ulcers and crazy things like that.
OMG.
Yeah. Yeah, capsules are made to go straight to your stomach, and like you never open a capsule up and take it like in your applesauce or anything like that. You never do that because it'll create ulcers and holes in your esophagus and the whole lining.
Can you imagine what does to your lung?
Oh, I can't. No, I can't. I can't because I have issues now. I've aspirated enough pills to. I probably wonder why I have pneumonia so aspiration pneumonia so much now.
All of a sudden, didn't you have Alice's?
Do I have, what was it?
Adolescence? Lung?
Of my lungs? Did you talk about the symptom or the diagnosis?
Yeah, when you know money?
Yeah.
Now, when I first wake up in the morning, I take risks that I can feel my lung bubbling.
Oh no, I never. See, it's weird. I don't sense heat. I don't sense cold very well. I don't sense like anything but pain. Really, my pain receptors are the only things I really feel anymore. MSA has like shut down a part of my brain that's like sensations throughout your body.
Yeah.
And so no, when I before MSA, yeah, I would feel like the heaviness, the mucus inside your lungs, you're coughing up and stuff. Absolutely, but now it's like I don't feel nothing but pain, and that's at the very end of it when I'm supposed to be in the ER.
Well, it's like I breathe in and breathe out. It's like your stomach's growling, but it's not.
The sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. My breathing tube has narrowed so much that it's almost Strider like. Because they said that on my ER visit for the last pneumonia, that the unusual breathing pitch was because of the narrowing of the airway, and that's Strider, right?
Yeah.
Strider's a high pitch, and so far mine's a low pitch. It's very very bassy, but it's not a normal pitch of breathing. So yeah, I'm very concerned after I read that too about my lungs and the narrowing of the breathing tube.
Did they breathing treatment?
Oh yeah, I had a nebulizer machine I used too. So they gave me nebulizers to keep the lungs
Yeah,
open.
they have one of those.
Yeah, they
I did. I don't know if it's
they're nice. I mean I don't like them, but that's probably the easiest medicine to take. They give me this different type of nebulizer. It's not the kind you give to kids. It's like purple, and it's made specifically to kill pneumonia, I guess. Right? You can use the nebulizer for many reasons, like asthma and anything, allergies and things like that.
yeah.
But the purple formula is made specifically for killing pneumonia, make sure it doesn't grow. It's like disinfecting or something.
I can remember when I was a kid, I had pneumonia, but I watched my house, my girls sitting at the door, and by the time I got to my girls' house, my lung, I was starting, my chest pain really, really
Yeah,
bad,
yeah,
like sharp pains.
yeah.
And my mom came over to the hospital, and I had pneumonia. That's my only symptom was sharp pain.
And that was as a kid, right?
Yep. I had
Yeah.
pneumonia when I was a kid, probably 20 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had pneumonia. They had me in the hospital for 3 weeks as a kid. I had a rare one. The last time before MSA, I had pneumonia. I broke two ribs because all the coughing I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
so
the eye, the smooth your eye.
yeah, everything, everything. And to see pneumonia before MSA and pneumonia after MSA, right? You can't even tell that you're getting sick anymore when you have MSA. You have no clue until it's all in your face and you're running at 100.4.5 degrees temperature and you're like, what the heck?
There's a comment, if you've been in the hospital, what do you go for? And did you know it was time to go?
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, for the listeners or watchers, I guess this, you can watch the
Watch
video
this.
now. Yeah, watch it. Watch it. Sounds kind of kinky.
Watch the air something.
Yeah, if you especially if you have MSA, if you've been to the hospital, what have you been in the hospital for? Because I find it fascinating that somebody like me, who I hold near and dear to myself, that I'm very aware of my life, pain, people around me. Like I am aware of everything. I wear contacts to bed so that in case there's a fire, I wake up and I can see. Right. I'm very aware, and I find it fascinating how I can't even sense when I'm sick anymore at all until I'm deathly sick. And so, like, if anyone listening or watching, like, do you have something similar to that? Because that is absolutely nuts. How does the so I read about this, and it's going to be my next video on YouTube. But Parkinson is the misfolding of the alpha synuclein protein destroys it attacks the actual brain cells responsible for
Exactly.
so and so movement, right, or so and so action.
Feeling.
In MSA, the alpha protein attacks the misfolding. It actually attacks the helping cells of your brain cells.
Sensors.
Yeah, so they're like endocrinocytes, or there's a word for it somewhere. I have it in my document, but completely different. So it's so if you don't have the cells that help your brain cells sense that you're sick,
How you not turn it on?
how do you know? Yeah, how do you know you're sick, right?
We want to know.
Yeah, we do. Please let us know. Give us a comment. Hit Daisy up. Her applesauce and pots and pans. And me and my bloody nose looks like I broke my nose.
But seriously, I thought about back to Alan, partial collection. It's like sticky lung, like it's the front of the lung and it's to the back of the lung.
Really?
And you can feel bubbles when you breathe.
Uh, the more you say it, the more I wonder sometimes if it's my stomach or my lungs that's growling.
It's just like your stomach.
My stomach doesn't normally growl, but I wonder if it is actually my lungs, like what you're saying.
My mom said it's like the sacs that your lungs are
Yeah,
actually in a sac.
yeah.
They're own to other or sacs.
Well, they collapse. Like they either fill with liquid for aspiration, or they actually collapse all the way. But so they're either filled or collapsing. But yeah, that's probably the liquid going in and out of your lungs.
That or the sac is rubbing against another sac.
Yeah,
Or it's not like
they're
crazy.
moving. Yeah, I
It's
think
scary.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I uh, I understand more and more what you're going through with your lung issues. The more that mine progresses, like most of my stuff is like paused, except for my lungs. My lungs are just they're done. They've given out, and
Are you still following me?
yeah, pretty much.
I'll tell you what's going to happen to you next time.
Really.
Let's see what's going to happen next. You're going to see
Mm,
horses in the elevator.
yeah, why not?
You see a
Why not?
cat.
Yeah.
So why not a horse?
Well, horses are fine too.
Well,
Two-
I don't know. People, I hear about people seeing things before when they
yeah.
have UTIs. I want to know what you see when you have a UTI.
Sheep. Yeah. So if you have a hallucination and you're not sick, you don't have MSA. If you have a hallucination while you're actually sick and have a fever or medication, you could probably still have MSA too, right? So yeah, yeah, same thing. That's how you know your fever is so high is when you start to see things, right?
Or you don't have fever, you just white cells. But the white blood cell counts. There's 10 numbers to count.
Yeah.
That's what my blood work says. 10 numbers to count.
Too many. Counting horses.
No, what must have count? It's too high count. The blood work.
Yeah.
You know you're sick when that happens.
I agree 100%. I do now. Don't you? I know we're gonna wrap up in a second, but don't you? Did you still have those myoclonus jerks that I
Yeah,
talked about before? They
they're so much
started.
more. They're worse.
Our next podcast should be about the myoclonus jerks because I've had it now for a couple years with MSA, and they only get worse if you don't get medicine for them. They total replacement of shoulder surgery, reverse, right,
Oh my
total,
god.
all metal. And my left arm decided to jerk to like today and the other day, like
Oh
really far. It hurts so bad, Daisy. I thought about like
it's gonna hurt.
yeah, praise God. I was like, don't ever do that. I was like, I told my therapist, like, I'm gonna tie a rope to my arm, to my body, so it doesn't jerk anymore. That hurts so bad.
Honesty is to the sharp pain in your hand.
Yeah, in the cerebellum part in the back, I do. Yeah.
You know, the only thing that works for those is ibuprofen
Yep, I'll take that now.
because it's those vessels in your head constricted. So,
Pressure?
yeah, people have asked me, and I just want to mention, if you get those pains, take an ibuprofen instead you get in that book. But I'm so short, then what is that trying to say? There's
Ibuprofen for those pains in the back of the cerebellum ataxia.
vessels are inflamed.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what MSA is. It's the sheathing that's being stripped away from the nerve cells causing that type of pain. It's exactly true. Yeah.
I think ibuprofen feels such like,
Well, for our next episode, I take Keppra anti-seizure medication, which is for seizures, which I don't have. It's for the jerks. Not you,
it's like
Daisy.
it.
Myoclonus jerks. And and it's also it helps you with pain. So ever since I've been taking a very high dose of Keppra, my pain, that shocking pain in the back of my head has almost gone away. So they had to up it my doses like 4 times to get to the right level.
Well, I'm gonna talk about neurologists I have before this, like about getting IVIG.
Yeah, IBG. Are they gonna try to get that for you?
I'll have to talk to her about
Well, why would you want to get that for? For what specifically?
this was speech,
Speech. I mean,
balance.
yeah. Yeah, I know my stem cells are worn out because I'm falling now. I'm starting to lose my knees and my ankles now. So my stem cells have officially worn out.
All of a sudden, one day.
but but you're IVIG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps with the whole body.
It does. Sarah said it's like that and day.
Really?
Really. I want to ask you about disciplinary clinic.
Ask me about what?
Disciplinary clinic.
Yes, this the multidisciplinary care. Yeah.
If you get an option to go to a disciplinary clinic, do it.
The
All the,
question or statement?
all the doctors come to you.
All of them come to you, and all the orders are done. They seem multidisciplinary care teams take care of the worst of the worst, like medical issues.
Let's talk about that next time too.
Something about what?
Talk about that next time too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there is nothing. No one doctor knows everything, especially when it comes to MSA. That's why we have separate doctors: pulmonologists, cardiologists, urologists, right, all of these things. That team is the only team, if you even have it in your state, is the only team that can really put everything together at once in one trip, kind of like the Mayo Clinic and
I'll have
Cleveland Clinic.
pause for talk about this.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and that's a great subject to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
So next
Yeah.
week, so that would be next week.
Yeah.
Next week will be multidisciplinary care. I have a lot of experience with that one. I think you were just talking about that earlier this week about trying to get into one yourself.
Yeah.
They're not everywhere, so definitely it will be a great podcast to listen to next week. If you ever are trying to get one-stop shop for everything, that next week's podcast will be the podcast to listen to.
Let's test next week. You got anything else, David, that you want to add?
No, just please forgive me for missing some podcasts for my shoulder. Complete total shoulder surgery and pain in MSA does not go very well. Everything hurts and hurts really bad. So
I want to have Ilse on back with you.
Yeah.
She's great, and I got cut off today. You said. I didn't say him, so I got cut off.
Oh yeah, they'll give you so much time on there. I think, right?
She's awesome. We've got to have her back.
MSA Mama.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely wanted to be there too in person. I couldn't the last few weeks. It's been hell on earth to have the surgery in MSA at the same time. So I look forward to it.
It was like Crusaders group, yeah, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you trying to get a hold of us, look at Facebook and join the MSA Crusaders group. We even have a support group where people bring up certain subjects we talk about. You can get a hold of us there too. Get help with other people having the same issues you might be having. And of course, like we said in the beginning, there's also Mission MSA in their website that has a lot of material and help for you also.
Our group is growing. It's sad, but it's good because there's more support with more people. But MSA support group, MSA Crusaders support group, we'd love to have you join our group.
We would love to have you, but we wish you weren't there.
Right.
Yeah, I
We
mean
have
that's
400 people in our group now.
yeah. It's great to have the support, even if people unfortunately have past relatives. That can give some insight. The worst mistake you can make is not asking a question.
Right.
I mean, me and Daisy have gone back and forth with things that she's done and I've done, and we both made mistakes. And the worst thing you can do is make the same mistake that could be prevented and save a piece of your body, whether it's a lung, bladder, colon, or whatever. Right? Ask the questions. Find a place to ask the questions. Facebook has our support group is really great. There's also Mission MSA. They have an outstanding application on your phone and also a website for information purposes. And
I've got a poll in there now for should we have a Zoom party? And I think it'll be a great thing. Have once a month we all have a call.
Yeah.
Anyway, how each other support each other.
Why don't you jump on a Zoom call?
I will say that we're at over 400 members now, and that we're getting about 10 members a day.
That scares me.
And just think how many we lost.
Yeah, it's a positive, but it's bad. This is like the debt, the federal deficit for the government. It's just positive, but it's negative too.
We've lost people.
Yeah.
Or you would say angels now.
Well, we've lost what three that we interviewed so far, at least 3
yes,
or 4.
There are people we've interviewed twice.
Yeah.
That
breaks my heart too, because the ones we interviewed were such sweet souls that just they're average people that got the wrong disease. I feel really bad. I do.
John, Aggie, and Susan.
Yeah. Especially John McDonald. John McDonald was in New Zealand, and there's like literally no care for him anywhere close to him. And I feel bad for him, especially because there's nowhere for him to go. Like he would have to go to the other side of Australia just to get care.
Yeah, Sean Connery's. Yeah,
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, doppelganger.
Yeah, he touched my heart because he looked and sounded like Sean Connery. I mean, they're all good. They're all great people, but he touched my heart because I love Sean Connery in movies. So, just talking to him, I feel like I was talking to a movie star.
I know it's sad.
Yeah, I know. His partner definitely misses him. So, it's unfortunate.
And Trisha, I know Trisha's heart because of Susan.
Yeah, those two were so sweet.
They're so funny.
And funny, yeah. I was amazed. We had such a good time with them. You don't realize that this disease, like COVID, whatever, it attacks everybody from the quiet, isolationist person to the party people to the funny people to the boring people. It affects everybody. And Susan and Trish they were absolutely the funniest too. Yeah. But at least we're able to help spread their words, spread their
journeys,
journeys or their thoughts. That's the least we can do. And hopefully somebody will listen to this one day on their videos or podcasts, and they'll not make the same mistakes and have hope, right? And find some type of peace and enjoyment out of this miserable disease.
You gotta laugh at good medicine.
What?
You got to laugh. It's good medicine.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's the one thing I do too. Like I try to say jokes because if you're not laughing, this disease will get you quick.
It will.
Get you so depressed.
If you have a bad day, watch it with your mom. Like your day.
That's what I heard. Well, I'm good, Daisy. Until next week, we'll talk about the interdisciplinary care.
Okay. And until then, remember, we're all MSA Crusaders.
We are. Thank you, Daisy.
You know, I met you.